I actually worked as an engineer. I have a degree in engineering, and I worked as an engineer for over a decade. But then just the stressful work environment brought on fibromyalgia, which is quite a debilitating disease. And in 2006, I was diagnosed with it after a year of chronic pain, chronic exhaustion, losing my balance, some memory loss, etc. And obviously, I had to give up working full time, and losing my career was a huge mental health blow for me. So went into depression, went through to see a psychologist who was a huge, huge help, helping me deal with the loss of my career, which was such a big part of who I was at the time. And yeah, since then, I have actually had to make quite a lot of changes in my life. Spent most of the last 15 years being a stay-at-home mum, occasionally working part-time, doing quite a lot of volunteer work and things like that. But my fibromyalgia is still here, and I still have to be very careful and cautious about what I do and what I don't do, because every action I do, everything I do, is essentially a balance between the amount of energy I have to work on things and getting sick. So I have to be very, very careful about what it is that I do and don't do. Try and avert any situations that I find stressful. So whether it be a work situation or a social situation. So if I find that I end up with too many invitations, say on a weekend or something, I will actually look at it and prioritize and obviously go to only the ones that are critical to the people. Say, like if I have to go to a 50th birthday party or a 60th birthday party, which is important to the person. And then I would perhaps cancel on a tea date of someone that I see perhaps weekly or something like that. And obviously explain to them that it's just I have limited energy and I'm just not able to cope with it. So that's pretty much how I'm kind to my mind. Really means finding out as much as possible about mental health issues. So I often watch TED Talks and read health blogs and things like that, just to know what other ways instead of just medication, and what other social situations actually help with depression and improving your mental health. I've also found I've been part of the SADAG fibromyalgia support group pretty much since the day it started 2 years ago. And I will admit that that group of people has actually become one of my closest groups of friends. They have been absolutely amazing, and there's probably not even, I would say, at least one or two. We've made sort of individual connections, even with some people, and probably weekly, sometimes every couple of days, I end up speaking to people, and it's been amazing speaking to people who understand how I feel, who are quite forgiving when, like this morning, I put on the same thing twice because I'd forgotten that I'd put it on the group yesterday, or they understand when I'm not able to reply to messages because I'm just too sick or too much in bed, and things like that. It's something that comes from my dad. He was always very fond of saying this: as long as you are alive, there is always hope. Irrespective of how bad things seem, there is always hope of improvement.